teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to impact your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and I know it's been a few weeks, maybe a month. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been on here live, but I'm here and I'm back, and I want to welcome you all in. I want you guys to come on in and make yourself comfortable because you are on the Fly Nubian Queen, the channel, the station for melanated people just like you and you and you. And guess what? I see you guys coming in. Ooh, by the hundreds. Come on in. Make yourself at home. I want to know, listen, it's been a while. I miss you, and I know you miss me too. So put in the comments where you are hailing from, because I know we have people that come in from all over the world. I know we have people from Africa and Europe, and we have people in Chicago and the DMV, and we have people from California. So put in the comments where you are from. I see you. Just Call Me Red is in Texas. What's happening, Just Call Me Red? What's up, Patricia? What's up, I Am Me? All the people, come on, put in the comments box where you are from, because we have a really good engaging conversation tonight. And I want to let you know already, please to subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen. There we go. Info Dot is in Australia. What's happening? What's going on? What time is it out in Australia right now? Just Call Me Red. You lounging? Well, I'm out here, about to have a conversation, and it's going to be a good conversation with this brother that I really admire. I see Talvia Steele is from Tallahassee, Florida. What's happening? You guys, make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen Network, and also make sure you subscribe to Nobody Works Harder Than Constance Carter, and follow me on Instagram at I Am Constance Carter. Okay, it's 9:02 a.m. Are you at work, Info Dot? All right, you guys, put in the comments box where you from. Now, I want to have a conversation because I know you guys been watching this brother, Kevin Samuels. Some people are trying to get this man banned. What's up, Antonio? Hey, Antonio, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. People are trying to get Kevin Samuels banned from YouTube. They actually have a petition out there to get this man banned from YouTube, which is crazy as I don't know what, because this thing's called free speech, whether you agree with him or not. I don't think that he's saying anything that's worthy of getting him banned. But I know one of the things he talks about a lot of times is high valued men. And what do high-valued men want in a woman? And oftentimes he has women that come on his show that say that they want all of these things in a man, but he is really quick to tell them that they ain't got what it takes to get a high-value man. He always, what's up, Safari from NYC? He's always telling people that they're not good enough for a high-value man. So I actually wanted to bring a high-valued man right here on the show tonight to talk about what it is that they actually want, because really, honestly, I don't believe Kevin Samuels is actually a high value man. I think he maybe study high value men, or maybe he has an idea of what he thinks a high value man is. But I actually have a high valued man that I'm going to bring on the show that I'm going to actually have a conversation with. And if you want to join us live and you want to ask this brother something, he is a bachelor and he is available. He's single. If you want to ask him a question, you can come on here and ask him a question. His name is Patrick Garland. He's from the DMV area, Washington, D.C. He has his master's in education. He runs a nonprofit called Young Stars. He's a former background singer for several artists like D'Angelo. He used to sing background for D'Angelo. He writes poetry. He plays music as a DJ, and he's an instrumentalist, and he writes to liberate his own spirit. I love talking to this brother. He is so intelligent. Recently, Patrick appeared in 2 movies. They currently appear on Amazon Prime. Those movies are 440 Negroes and the Elaine Massacre, a Red Summer documentary. He writes a podcast, or he writes a blog, and he has a podcast called The Human Movement. So we are excited. I'm excited to have this brother on because he is truly a high value man. And I want to have him on and just have a stimulating conversation about what it is that they're looking for. So I'm going to bring this brother on here. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, brother? You're muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, Constance. How are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm good. So, have you heard of Kevin Samuels? Do you ever listen to this brother?
It's crazy, man. I have no idea who he is.
Okay, good. So then you won't have any kind of you can have an objective. We can have an objective conversation around this very topic. That's good. Sure. Good. Okay, so you are single.
Yes.
How long have you been single?
Man, I've been single since 2017. That's honest.
Okay, you've been single since 2017. All
Yeah.
right. So why are you single, brother? So you have an education, you have a master's degree, you own your own home,
Hmm.
you have all of these investments, you have all these multiple revenue streams, you have a nonprofit, you have a blog, you're doing all of this great stuff in the world. Why are you single, brother? Why is
Well,
it high value being single?
well, one of the things for me, I can't speak from a sense of absolution, so I can only speak for me, for Patrick. My soul is decisive. So, I know the type of woman that it's going to take to meet the needs of my soul. So until I find that, I'm going to be single.
Hmm. Okay. So what kind of woman are you looking for? What kind of woman does a man like Patrick want on his arm?
Man, I'll tell you, I'm not looking for a woman that I can meet at the same level of success. I'm looking for a woman that can understand my struggles. If you can understand my struggles, it's easy to deal with me in success because everybody wants to be with a winner. But not many people want to do with somebody who's trying to win. Because in the midst of trying to win, you're going to experience a few losses. So if a woman can deal with me in the midst of a loss, that's something pretty special.
Okay, so but what does that mean? So are you in the midst of losing right now, or are
No,
you?
absolutely not. I'm not in the
What does
midst
that
of losing.
mean?
I'm looking for somebody that can understand me at my core, as my root. I don't always want to, I'm not always well dressed. I'm not always at my best. I don't always have something profound to say. I don't always, I'm not always on the winning side of the coin. So with that being said, if I can show my vulnerabilities, if I can be my authentic self with her, outside of the fluff and the pomp of circumstance, that's what I consider something that I can build with. My mother said it. She said, Patrick, listen, never look for the perfect person. Look for somebody just as crazy as you and have a good life because at least you can be honest and have some fun.
Say that one more again for the people in the back. Say it one more time.
Again, look for somebody just as crazy as you and have a good life because at least you can have some fun.
At least you could have some fun. I love it.
Exactly. I think that, when you look at relationships today, man, we make them too hard. We looking for a person with a 750 credit score that's never cheated, that's never lied, that's never made a mistake. That everybody looks perfect on paper. If you find that person, they're gonna be good for you. They're gonna be too good for you.
True.
Look for somebody that you can relate to and build from there.
Some people think that, they have to have like for a man or for a man, the woman has to look a certain way. Or do you have a type that you're looking for?
I mean, so listen. I would lie to you if I told you that I didn't have a type. Everybody has a type because beneath our manners and our ability to articulate our feelings and our ideas and our beliefs, we're animals. So all of us have a type. But what happens is that sometimes personality and sometimes intellect and sometimes just good old fashioned, spirituality can transcend that. We're attracted to our type, but we don't oftentimes stay with our type because sometimes what we consider our type isn't enough. It's enough to catch us, but it ain't enough to keep us.
That part.
What keeps us is, again, it goes back to the intellect. It goes back to the spirituality of it all.
So you're saying that you're a sapiosexual,
Absolutely.
which means what?
Well, I mean, my love language is not physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm attracted to a woman's mind. What's more invaluable to me is what's in between her ears more than what's in between her thighs. If what's in between your ears is clicking on all cylinders, then what's in between your thighs must be magical. But in order for me to get there, I have to reach here first.
Okay. So you said you have a type. What's the type?
um, well, I like women. Of course, I like my women like I like my coffee.
Okay.
No disrespect to anybody else, but I must be loyal to the community that I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was a Black woman, so of course I'm attracted to Black women. I like everything about Black women, but Black women are not linear. They're multifaceted. So I'm attracted to a strong, intelligent Black woman that understands me, and I say that unapologetically. I'm sure that people may bash me in the end. Again, this is not an affront against any other woman, but I like Black women, so that's it.
Okay. You know what's funny is people are saying, look, he already told you his type, but no, I'm talking about physical type. I know mentally you like you like an
Oh,
intellect.
physical types. So are you really asking me, am I into skinny girls?
Yeah. Do you like them skinny? Do you like
um,
thick? Do you like them, do you like BBWs? What do you like?
listen, I like a woman with a little bit of meat on the bones.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 6'2", 225 pounds. So yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? I like a woman with a little bit of meat on the bones.
Charmaine said light, dark, long hair, short hair, thick, small. Like, what is it, brother?
I mean, it's not that absolute. You know, I like a woman with a good mind, with some meat on her bone, somebody that I can build with, somebody with a sense of humor, and we can build from there.
Okay. So
I
would
mean,
you
look,
get,
first of all, can I say this, Constance? And
please?
guys, for those of you that are listening to me, yes, I do have a little bit of education and I have accomplished a few things in my life. But you know what, man? Look, I come from the mud in real life. And because that's my foundation, because that's my real foundation, that's where I love from.
Mm.
I don't love from this new place because this place is new. I love from that old place because that's familiar and it's comfortable for me. And it's not, Steve, that I'm not answering the question, brother. I might not be giving you an answer that you want to hear, but it's the answer that I'm gonna give you. You know, it's I love from that place. That's honest.
So you talk about the old place. The old place is where you've come from.
Yeah, the old place that I come from, exactly. The
Okay.
old place that I come from.
So let's
Facts.
talk about your background. So where did you come from? Because right now we know that you have all these things going on. But where did you come from? Were you born
Well,
to
you know,
what?
yeah, man, I was born in Richmond, Virginia. You know, my mother is biracial and my father is from Jamaica. You know, but I was raised, by my mother. And, my mother raised me in the old way. My mother told me, my love language is words of affirmation and acts of service. Words of affirmation is, just building me up, edifying me. And my mother and I used to sit at the kitchen table and we talked every night for hours. But, while she cooked, I would sit there and we would talk. So I equate love with that and acts of service. We never had money. So when my mother would get paid, she would buy more food than we needed. And she would distribute it to people who lived in our building. And the looks on their faces when I would deliver those brown paper bags with the wax paper and fried chicken and the rolls that she would make in the house with little styrofoam cups of macaroni and cheese or mashed potatoes and gravy, whatever it is that she was making, the looks on their faces was priceless. Because we didn't have money, my mother couldn't make investments in property. So she made investments in people.
Mm.
And that had a profound effect on me. So those people, then, I fell in love with those personalities, and I admired, the people that were doing the things that, I saw in the community that I considered valuable, and I never forgot that. So in this situation, that I'm in now, it's a different world, and I'm still getting acclimated with this world.
Yeah.
But my
Wow.
true heart is back in the neighborhood.
Wow. Well, said he is so hot. What is his shoe size, sock color?
My sock color.
Please show your sock and
My sock color.
Instagram.
Wow.
What
I
kind of sock?
appreciate
What's your
it.
sock game looking like?
Thank you. Listen, if I only wore one color socks, I'm doing bad. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
She said, I want to know how many men so share. What does that say? But y'all
I
know
want to
the
know how
one
many.
parents.
But y'all know the ones come from married parents. That's the breakdown of fatherlessness. All right, so let me say this. Let me say this. Here's the thing. Fathers are very, very, very important. Fathers are extremely important. Fathers are extremely important. But ladies, let me share this with you. In every species of animal, from the aardvark to the zebra, the baboon to the yak, the cheetah to any animal that begins with X, it is clearly the females that are strongest. And I'm not saying that brothers aren't strong. We're strong. But it's something about a mother's love that, cannot be replaced. It can't even be replicated. So I don't have any, I am a strong Black man. Did I have the best relationship with my father? The answer is undeniably no. But my mother gave me all the tools that I needed in order to not only survive this world, but thrive in this world. She taught me to keep my feet on the ground and my chin up all the time. You don't have glass pockets. Nobody knows what you have unless you tell them. You know what I'm saying? Speak your truths even if you're the only one speaking them.
Mm.
So that's it.
Wow. So are you the type of woman that you're looking for? Do you want a strong woman that's like your mother? Do you want somebody that's strong? Do you want somebody that's passive? Do you want somebody that's what traits from your mother do you look for in a woman?
Kindness,
Mm.
empathy, and not empathizing with me through my bullshit, but the ability to empathize with others through their struggles. Patience, because Black manhood is a work in progress more than it is a finished project.
Mm.
Um, and just love, man. Yeah.
So there's a question that we used to bring up. What do you value more, love or trust? What do you think is more important?
Love.
Why?
I think that love carries you when trust is on E.
Hmm.
I consider trust like air blown glass. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to make and easy to break. And man, as human beings, we're gonna
Hold on.
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, as human beings, that's we're gonna make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. And sometimes the mistakes that we make violate trust. I mean that's just the way that it is. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for someone who has never made a mistake, you might as well stop looking because all of us have made them. Some people are better at hiding than others.
True.
Those are facts. You know, yo, if you can work with somebody through those mistakes, right? Demi Love does. It covers a multitude of sins. True story. My friend and his wife have been married for well over 15 years. And his wife went out of town and she had an indiscretion and she came home and told him about it. He was like, yo, I'm gonna leave my wife. She's a horrible person. But what she didn't know is that he had indiscretions with so many women I can't even count them on 5 hands, much less 2. So I say, look here, brother, you gonna end your marriage of over 20 years for 20 minutes? You think you're gonna replicate that?
Hmm.
Like, we're grown men, we over 40 now. We're not 21 no more. You think you're gonna go out here and find that at Applebee's or at the park in 14th in DC? You think you're gonna find that? Come on, son. You know what I'm saying? That's not even intelligent. So as you get older, to answer your question, I would choose love because it carries you when trust is on E.
Whew, love carries you when trust is on E. So, you guys, for all of you guys, and I see that there are more and more and more people on here. We are talking to Patrick Garland. This brother, this highly intellectual brother, is our special guest, and we're talking. And he's a high value man. He's from the Washington D.C. area, the DMV. He has a master's in education. He runs a nonprofit called
For
Young
sure.
Stars.
Yes.
He's a former background singer for
Yes.
D'Angelo.
Yes. Yes. I sing a little bit.
Yes, he sings. He writes poetry. He's a
Yes.
DJ.
Yes.
He's recently appeared in a couple of movies that are on Amazon Prime, 440 Negroes and the Elaine Massacre. And he also writes a blog and he has a podcast called The Human Movement. Now, I listened to that podcast. It is absolutely amazing. I listened to the last 2. You did one called, it was on the 5th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did one called Manifest. This
Mm-hmm.
brother is deep. I mean, his thoughts, the way he thinks. I love the way he thinks. I love the way your
For
mind
sure.
works, brother. Somebody said, how do you feel about, a woman wanting to be number one over your mother? So, I've seen like memes where they've had,
Mm-hmm.
who's in the front seat, the mom or the wife. How do you feel about that?
I mean, my woman, first of all, numbers. I don't even know what that means. Number one over my mother. First of all, if you're my woman and I'm your man, and you and I are we or us, At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. My mother didn't raise me to be her husband. She raised me to be her son, and a son that she could be proud of. So if her son, has the blessing of a woman in his life, we're going to continue to build what she already established. That's simple mathematics for me. I don't sleep with my mother. I sleep with my woman. So
What
there are
about
things that we're going to discuss when we laying above the sheets and beneath the ceiling that my mother will never know, as she shouldn't. So my woman will be number one. Do I love and respect my mother? Absolutely. But am I going to put my mother above my woman? Potentially the mother of my children? You know what I'm saying? No. So no.
So a couple of people are asking about your podcast. They want
Yes.
you to spell out the podcast. Is the human HUE?
Yes, it's the human movement. HUEMANMOVEMENT. Humanmovement.com.
Yeah, you should have wore your human movement shirt.
I should have worn my human movement shirt, but I'm humble, man.
No, you
Yes,
should.
that's it right there.
And then and then your Instagram is what?
I too am human. Lowercase I, the number 2, am human. HUEMANMOVEMENT.com.
Well, no, on your Instagram, I too am human.
Oh, I too am human. Yes, just I too am human.
Okay.
Yeah, I too am human.
Okay.
Lowercase I too am HUEMAN. Yeah, that's me. That's it. Thank you, Dr. Boyd Watkins. I appreciate you, brother.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to get on and you want to ask this brother Patrick Garland some questions, go ahead and click the link that's in the topic in the subject bar.
Yeah, listen, I'm here for it.
Click the link. He is here to answer all your questions. This is a single brother. He is very intellectual. He is very well traveled, been all over the world several times. And he's, he has his type. His type, he said, is he likes a black woman. Number one.
Of course, I love the sisters unapologetically.
She got to be a little thick. She got to have some meat on her bones.
Absolutely. Listen, if you got to choose between a salad and some potatoes, I'm gonna say get the potatoes.
Number 3, she has to have some sort of intellect. She gotta meet you here before she can meet you here, right?
Oh, for sure.
Now, why is that? Like, some people are just, attracted physically to people first. Why are you attracted mentally?
Again, everybody is different, man.
Because I know you deal with women who like, okay, all that's cool, but what that D do? Like, what's going on? What's happening beneath? What? I know you deal with women that like we can talk. We can talk later. Come on.
Well, one of the things that happens is that look, it's like this, right? Every woman is different. Every woman that's on this on this podcast with you right now is different. Every woman that you meet in the supermarket, or you know what I'm saying, in the store or in your tailors, every woman is different. So, her approach to sexuality, her beliefs about sexuality are different. So in order to really not just satisfy her, but please her, you've got to be able to really get to the center of what makes her tick. You know what I'm saying? And the only way to do that is to get to know her. Like in the songs of Solomon said, I knew her and she knew me. That's a level of spirituality that can't be, replaced or equated with by just some dude who rolls up on you in Applebee's and talks to you about what he gonna do. He ain't gonna do shit. Because what he gonna do to you, he probably did to the last 15 people. And it's probably nothing, which is why he's in Applebee's trying to push up on you. No disrespect to Applebee's, but you get it. So yeah.
She Raw said, any man that's faithful, works hard, and is positive presence in your life is high value. Don't miss out on a good man chasing social media's idea of a high value man. And that's the whole point here, Ryle, is, the whole idea of high value man that Kevin Samuels put out there, which, he, a lot of people say he's a joke. I don't believe he's a high value man. But we actually have a man that is of high value. It does not mean highly educated, highly intellectual, highly spiritual, and highly single as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we want to talk to somebody to see what they actually think. A man that is a high value man. And a high value man does not necessarily mean that they have to make a lot of money. It doesn't mean, it means that they have to have a high moral aptitude, in my opinion. That's what a high value man is.
one thing for sure, and two things for certain, Constance. One thing about you, I know that you're an investor, right?
I am.
So the goal of investing is to recognize a potential investment for what it has the potential, or recognize an investment for what it has the potential of becoming before it actually actualizes. A high valued man, sometimes a high valued man is made into a high valued man by a woman that actually recognizes his value. You know what I'm saying? Before it actualizes. Everybody has the potential. Everybody has the potential of being good. Every human being, I believe, is good for somebody. Nobody should walk around here feeling like, yo, I'm not high value because I don't have this and I haven't accomplished that. Like, yeah, everybody has the potential of being of value to somebody. Like,
Right.
high value is relative. You know,
Absolutely. It
yeah,
doesn't
I mean,
matter how much you got in the bank. It doesn't matter
exactly.
how much money you make. It's about who you are.
It's about who you are. Exactly. For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So you have a nonprofit,
I
young.
do.
So
Yes.
why do you work with children? Like why is that important to you?
Man, I'll tell you the when I was a child, growing up in the inner city, there were many things that I wish someone would have said to me. Like, as an educator, um, when I was in high school, our guidance counselors didn't talk to us about going to college or filling out a financial aid form or, it's easy to say, man, one day I want to be a lawyer. But when you're growing up in the inner city, we didn't have any lawyers, that were coming to talk to us about their plight in law school. We didn't have any accountants or architects or engineers or astronauts coming to talk to us. That just wasn't our reality. And I'm the first person in my family, the first male since, slavery, really. You know what I'm saying? My father migrated over to this country from Jamaica. I'm the first to go to college. And when I graduated, I vowed upon everything holy that I would take everything that I gathered along the way and teach kids that kind of reminded me of myself. I'm not looking for perfect kids. I'm looking for kids with a whole lot of heart, open minds, and that are really ready to rise above, their circumstances. And that's what we do with Young Stars. And I've helped, thousands of, children over the course of the years, not just be successful academically, but be able to get out here and make some of their dreams come true, despite the broken tools that they had.
Right.
Push anyway.
Right.
Now, what we're talking about right now, this is passion. Like, music is great. You know what I mean? I love music. I'm happy about some of the things that I was able to do with music, and that's cool. But nobody's going to remember me as a musician. I will never be forgotten for what it is that I did with Young Stars.
I love it. Now let's talk about what you did in music. So
Music
you
is cool, man. I met Mike, when I was very
Mike
young.
D'Angelo.
Yes, Michael Archer.
His brother saying background for
Yeah,
D'Angelo.
Mike is a great musician, man. And the thing with Mike is that, I had the opportunity to go to Mike's mom's house in the south side of Richmond, Virginia. And at the time, he had just signed, and I was so excited because he was working with Raphael Sadiq. He did that song, You Will Know.
Yeah.
But people don't realize it. Like, Brian McKnight gets too much credit for that song. Like, Brian really didn't have anything to do with that record. That's Mike wrote that song. That was an original D'Angelo piece. And Mike was like, man, I really want to work with you. So he sent me to New York, and I had an opportunity to work with this lady named, meet with this lady named Jocelyn Cooper. And it was just a really, really great time. People don't know, for a short time, I went to Virginia State University. And back then, we had something called the Delta Star Search, where the Deltas, ladies of Delta Sigma Theta, they put on a talent showcase. And I beat DOS Effects, the rap group DOS Effects. DOS stands for Dre and Scoop, which is funny, but it's real. You know,
Okay.
and shout out to Dre and Scoop. You know,
Bump,
but I be
stickity, bump.
boom stickity boom, and they actually did that in the talent show. You know, boom stickity boom. I'm gonna, and nobody got it. And I remember saying, "Yo, it's hot." So I won the talent contest, and they got the record contract, and the rest is history.
Oh, wow. Wow. So I want to
You
go
know,
back to the question. You guys, we're open for questions. So if you want to join the show, if you want to join us live
yeah.
and ask these brothers some questions, there are thousands of people that are watching right now. If you want to join us live and ask questions and get on camera with us, go ahead and click the link in the subject bar and ask Patrick questions. Also, this our comments is open for questions. But somebody said, Mensa said, I still want to know how the heck you can have love without trust. When love is an action, not an idea, and trust is an action of love.
Trust is an action of love. Huh. That's a really trust is an action of love. All right. So first of all, and this is not the truth. This is my truth. So with that being said, sometimes a person being true to themselves is also being untrue to you. You know, so if you want someone to do something, you know, that's true to you and untrue to themselves, that's just the way that it is. And you know, you're not going to completely get that person. You know, life is not about absolution, guys. We got to stop looking for perfect people. Like nobody is perfect, and that's why I say that I would rather choose love over trust, because sometimes you're going to make mistakes, you know, and love carries you through those mistakes. You know, look, I'll be the last person to say that, you know, every marriage, the best marriages are marriages with no problems. I say that a marriage with no problem is a fake marriage, because a real marriage is going to have problems, and a
Right.
real marriage is going to have some struggles. That's real life. I don't want nobody that I've never argued with, that I've never, you know what I'm saying, had to go through the mud with. I don't want that. That's fake. That's not my life. I don't even know what that's like. I want somebody that's going to be willing to build with me and deal with me when it's hard for me to deal with myself.
So when you talk about love versus trust, right? So I see on both ends. I said I'd rather have love over trust because I
All right,
believe.
Charmaine, shout out from Dinwiddie County. What? What's up? You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Charmaine? So,
Yeah.
love being an action word, and the First Corinthians chapter 13 Bible verses talks about love. It covers all of those things, right? Trust is a part of love. When you love somebody,
Right.
that encompasses that. But then I also see on the other hand when somebody says, "I love you, but I can't trust you." Like I love the hell out of you, but you did something to violate me, and I can no longer trust you. I still love you, but I can no longer trust you. And if I can no longer trust you, then I can't be with you. And so I see both sides.
Right. And it's a lot of people that go out there into the world and say, I love you, but I can no longer be with you. But the inverse to that is sometimes I can be with you, but I might not completely love you, because you haven't violated my trust and you're doing everything right on paper. But for some reason, there's something missing.
That's true. That is
That's
true.
real.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? What do you think about women who chase men? You know, you're an alpha male. You seem to be an alpha male. Yes.
For sure.
Okay. So when a woman chases you, how does that make you feel?
When a woman does what?
Chases you.
When a woman chases me,
Mhm.
how does it make me feel? I mean, it really doesn't. It's cool. If I'm into her, it makes me feel good. If I'm not into her, it makes me feel nothing.
Because men love the thrill of the chase. A lot of men love the thrill of the chase. And then, they come full force and send their representatives. They're their best version of themselves initially.
Hmm.
Once they get what they get, it kind of changes.
Uh-huh.
So how do you stop
I
that?
mean, but I mean, come on. I mean, we just can't say that. We just can't say that to men. You know, at the end of the day, everybody likes something that's new.
Mm-hmm.
We all like something that's new.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Women can be the same way. You know, a woman can be like, man, you know, why can't you be like what you were when we first met? Um, we first met when we were, you know, like in our 20s. You want me to go back to being that guy in our 40s? That's not even intelligent. It doesn't make sense. Mentally, I'm not in the same place. Look, I legitimately believe that love grows. It's a seed that you have to nurture, just like everything else. And we don't have to grow at the same pace at the same time. Let's be adults about this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stop looking for a 50-50 love. Nothing is 50-50. And if it's 50-50, then somebody's lying. I think that love is probably 95-5, 80-20, 70-30, or 60-40. But it ain't never going to be 50-50, ever. And
That's
if it
true.
is 50-50, somebody's lying. Like, yo, let's stop talking about the let's stop speaking in colloquialisms and idioms, and let's stop talking about money. We're talking about love. This is what I know. You know, we all came into the world the same way, and we all gonna leave this world the same way. So it's time for us as people, especially as black people, to be honest. Let's stop this pack mentality about us having one universal idea that we think is going to fit for everybody. Because what fit for y'all might not fit for me. Our love languages are not the same. My love language is not physical touch. So a woman can have a cape hanging between her thighs, but if she can't stimulate what's in between my ears, I ain't never gonna love her.
Mm.
So let's be, yeah, right. Let's be real about this. I think that black people, yo, we need to stop being silent about what we actually believe just because everybody in the room doesn't believe the same thing.
Speak on it.
It's the difference between having an argument and actually making a point. Most people just want to argue. It's easy to point out a problem. Somebody please point me in the damn direction of the solution.
True.
You know, we're not, you know, linear. We're multifaceted. I
Mm.
legitimately believe that. For me, for Patrick, I would rather have love than trust. Patrick
Mm.
would rather have love than trust. If you would rather have trust than love, then that's cool, man. You know, that's great. For me, I would rather have love because I know that trust is easily broken. Because of some of the traumas that I experienced in childhood, my levels of trust are so fragile. You wouldn't understand them if I completely articulated them to you. So if I love you, yo, I can rock with that. And I could build with you from that place.
Mm. And things could happen. Trust can be broken, but it can also be mended.
Exactly.
Princess said, "Isn't marriage the totality of two different personalities, characters joined together to create and sustain a loving bond?"
If you don't have that loving bond before you get married, you probably won't have it after.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is nothing more than an acknowledgement of what two people already know. I'm not going to love you any more the day after our marriage than I did the day before.
You get a phone call. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I can't hear you yet.
I'm not going to love you any more the day after our marriage or the day of our marriage than I did the day before.
Mm.
And one of the things that happens, it seems like a lot of people get married and it's almost like a director jumps out of the closet and says, action. And all of a sudden now I'm the character of the husband and you are the character of the wife. And here's the script. That's exhausting.
Mm.
You know, we have to be friends first. We got to be friends first.
Tiffany said, "Are you from Virginia? You look
You
familiar."
better know it. Representing RVA all day, twice on Sundays. What's up?
Tell
Yeah.
them about the day party you do every Saturday up out in VA.
Yeah, man. I do a day party every Saturday out in VA, man. It's for grown people. And more importantly, it's a networking party. I believe that as Black people, again, as Black people, we have everything that we need in our community to sustain ourselves. You know, I believe that as a Black person, there could be no true freedom in this land until we are economically free. And economic freedom should be something that is attained by not just some of us, but all of us. And I think that we fall in love with the fruits of wealth rather than the actual act of wealth itself. You know, um, just because you have a Benz or a Rolex or you know what I mean, you live in a house with 7 rooms in it, that doesn't make you rich. You got me, Tiffany. Yes, I believe that.
You went to Ephesus?
I did. I did.
All right. All right. You went to Ephesus, Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Exactly. This is what I love about, you know what I'm saying, about the internet. It's amazing.
That's so
Tiffany, it's
funny.
good to see you.
That's so funny because my cousin went to Ephesus Seventh-day Adventist Church in San Jose, California, and I grew up going to a church called Ephesus at Seventh-day Adventist Church in San Jose.
Listen, yeah, that's real.
What a
That's real.
coincidence!
Small world.
Yeah. So you also lecture. What are some things that you lecture about?
I lecture about social activism. I lecture about of course, we're talking about critical race theory, 1619 project, different things of the like, historical context. That's what I lecture about. And oftentimes I do it in a room full of people that don't look like us.
Mm. So if we're going back to dating and talking about that, so the woman that you date, does she need to understand all of those facets of you? What if she just has totally different interests? Could you be with somebody who has totally different interests than you?
What do you mean?
Like somebody who's just not interested in anything that you're talking about, anything that you do, but she loves you and she respects you. She's just not into, any of your hobbies.
Well, I'm not saying that she has to be as well versed in those areas of life.
She doesn't have to be into it at all, because you could have somebody might think, oh, he's a great guy, he's cool, I love what he's talking about, I'm just not into it. Could you be with somebody who's, you can't have a conversation with about what it is that you do?
Listen, Albert Einstein said a bird and a fish can fall in love, but where they gonna live? So if I can't talk to you when I come home and you don't demonstrate any sort of interest, how could we possibly build love? Like, where's the love going to be born? Like, where do we develop love from there? Like, could you imagine? Like, I'm not a realtor, right? I'm not, in areas of business or genres of business that you're into. But if you can't come home and talk to me about it, and I can't listen to you and actually hear what it is you're saying, how can we possibly build love from there?
Right.
Like, what we going to talk about?
Hey, Frank Green is on your helmet. This man been making comments all night. So he said you was just like his Uncle Frank. You was a player. You probably got a whole stable of women. He said you talk just like his Uncle Frank. And so now he said, you bet you got a Harley or a slingshot.
All right, so Frank, I hate to burst your bubble, brother, but I can't even ride a motorcycle, and I wouldn't drop a slingshot to save my life. But I appreciate the love. Thank you. It's Love Day. Today is Love Day. What is today? The 2nd of August, 2020.
Today's 2nd of August. Yeah.
Love Day. Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
Uncle Clarence, not Uncle Frank. Frank said you got a whole step. He said you a player. you spitting that game like an old pimp.
Nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
So for those of you guys just tuning in, you are listening to the Fly Nubian Queen Network. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you like, you share. Also, make sure you subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen and Nobody Works Harder Than Constance Carter. Go over to my YouTube page as well. This brother has a podcast called The Human Movement, HUEMAN Movement. He's deep. Listen to his podcast. Read his blog.
Of course, Frank.
I too am human. What did Frank say?
Frank say it's all love, OG. It's just jokes. Frank, listen, man, if we can't laugh together, listen, life is too short, man. Life is too short. I appreciate it.
So let me read just an excerpt of his last blog. Why does sleeping feel so good when we're sad? Are we running? Why is it so hard to show love, yet so easy to demonstrate rage? Why must I always stand strong when I'm actually breaking down on the inside? Y'all go to the Human Movement, HUEMAN movement.com and read the rest. His blogs are very, very thought-provoking. What gives you those ideas? How do you come up with the ideas for your blogs and your podcast?
Man, I'll tell you, okay. So here it goes. When my mother died, I lost something. When my mother died, she took something from me. When my mother was alive, I didn't know what the absence of love felt like. It just wasn't real to me. And when you have one thing and you lose that one thing, life becomes very different. So, again, going back, my love language is words of affirmation. I would talk on the phone to my mother for hours. I mean, hours, Constance, hours. I play Jeopardy every night. I love it. I've been playing it for years. And when my mother died, my initial reaction was to pick up the phone and call her when Jeopardy came on. Dun, 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 just and it was no one to call. So when I realized that there was no one to call, I also understood that there was no one to talk to. So the things that I would have said to my mother, I write. I'm my true vulnerable self when I write. I don't really, and guys, this, some of you may be offended, but I don't really care what people think, because there's no one that has walked in these shoes that I have to put on every morning but me. And I don't seek or need anyone's approval. Period. So what I write is the truth, 100%. I'm not, hiding anything. I'm not doing anything. I speak what I'm feeling at that time because I need to say it.
Your journey is very interesting. And if you don't mind sharing, like when your mom died, you were an educator before she died, right?
Yes, for
And
sure.
then you kind of just lost yourself.
Yeah, man. You know, prior to, my mother's death, I you know, very successful, doing things, traveling. Um, but my life was shallow at that time. It was more measured by what I owned and what I invested in and where I went and how many stamps were on my passport. That was the life that I was living. I was living a fake life that was saturated with fake people. And when I lost the realest person in my life, that fake shit didn't cut it no more. And it was exhausting to be with him. We talked about everything except how we actually felt. And I was on a consistent and relentless pursuit of something new. And I always felt empty on the inside. I was smiling in photographs, but I was hollow. And the women who dealt with me at that time, it was the metaphorical equivalent of pouring, your best into an empty cup, or a cup with no bottom. Let's say that. A cup with no bottom. And guys, look, man, you looking at a dude who lost everything. Like legitimately everything. Like homeless, sleeping outside, beneath the moon, looking at the stars, saying, God, how did I get here? I gave up everything, everything. And I said, man, God, how did I get here? With a master's degree, I took a job in a supermarket and the sun came out for me. And when I say the sun came out, I discovered the difference between making a living and actually living. I started living. I met real friends, friends to this day, real friends, the type of friends that show up and annoy you when you don't want to be bothered, the type of friends that will call you 15 times when depression kicks in. And guys, listen, did I suffer from depression? Do I still struggle with depression? Absolutely. That part. Yeah. Depression is mean and I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The type of friends that deal with you when you don't deal with yourself. I started to live. So I lost everything in order to find my most valuable things. So that's it.
And then you began to journal.
I began to journal. And the reason that I started to journal, in the beginning, it was therapeutic. This is it's crazy. Yeah, mental illness is real. One of the things that happens is that um, I had a Trump supporter reach out to me. He was angry about everything that I had written. So, I said, man, listen, call me. I sent him my real phone number. He went on and on and on about politics and, you know what I'm saying, just social media and the liberal media. Turns out he lost his job and he was looking for an answer. And by the time the phone call ended up, he just said, man, I just don't know what to believe anymore. It was deep. And I realized that I wasn't the only one. So, I speak for the Black men that are too afraid to speak their truths even to themselves. That's why I started journaling.
Wow. That's deep, y'all, right? So Barry said, I love your transparency. And I agree. Your transparency, your vulnerability, your honesty, all of those things, shine through all the words that you say, and you're a friend of mine. So I love just hearing you speak, and I love the way you think.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are great. So I don't know. I was just looking at the comments. Princess says real friends are so rare these days.
Yeah, Princess, I'm glad you said that. Sometimes people work overtime and trying to hold on to things that they should really let go of.
Yeah.
If something doesn't feel good in your soul, then it's not good for you. You should let it go in order to make room for something that actually fits.
Yeah. I one of the things that you really have, a lot of people talked about, losing the pain of losing your mother. And I'm very fortunate to be 45 and still have both of my parents that live right around the corner, that are very active in my life. And it's a blessing. Mom gets on my nerves, but I wouldn't trade her for the world. And so to have, one of the things that's really important when you're looking for a mate, you guys, when you're looking for somebody, it's really important to have a man who loves, values, and respects his mother. And it says a lot of how they're going to love, value, and respect you.
For sure.
So whoever you wind up with, they're going to be blessed because of the way that you know how to love loved your mother, and the way that your mother loved you. It showed you how to love a woman, I believe.
Constance, can I say something?
Absolutely.
All right, so guys, here it goes. You guys know I come from, Richmond, Virginia. My mother worked in a factory called Union Envelope. It was over there, off of Chamberlain Avenue. And one of the things that happens is that, my mom worked at Union Envelope, and she also, cleaned at night. I don't remember anything that my mother ever bought me. I don't remember the shoes. I don't remember the pants, the jeans. You remember Jordache jeans came out?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That was the thing. I don't remember any of that. So for the sisters on the phone that have children, especially sons, in real life, he probably won't care about anything that you buy him. So rather than invest in things, your biggest investment should be in your most valuable commodity, and that's time. Spend time, like real time, not fake time, but real time with your son or your daughter, and show them your real self, and watch what happens.
Amen. So what's your name? Oyo?
Yeah, what's up? You just called me Tony.
Tony, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up? How you guys doing this evening?
Good to see you. That head is very fresh.
Oh yeah, man. I see you, Playboy. I see you on my screen.
Hi,
Big
Cat
screen
Daddy.
TV. Yeah.
So what question do you have, Tony?
Nah, so I've been listening in all night on this short conversation here about love and trust. I got my notes here. I wrote a couple things down, so I wanted to reach out tonight Touch me a little bit, man. You touch me. So, Constance, you was right, man. In the Bible, it do say a little something about, men love your women and women trust you, man. We just gotta kind of decode the Bible a little bit. It's a few hidden meanings and a few hidden messages in there that we gotta just take a closer look at, man. When we talk about, loving our women, we gotta remember the old, Renaissance men used to sneak up to their girlfriends' windows in the middle of the night and write poetry to them. It's about the attention. That's what
Right.
they do on social
Exactly.
media now, right?
Exactly.
What happened to the romance, Tony?
Hey, man, we got social media now. It's all about the likes and the clicks. We got to remember,
Right.
like, when our fathers and our grandfathers wanted to talk to the girls at any time, they went up to them and spoke to them.
Yes.
So we got to remember
Courted
iPhones.
them.
Go ahead.
I said they courted them.
Right, exactly. And then when it comes to the trust part, I mean, what do we equate trust to now? When we think about trust is money, right?
Right.
So
Tony, it's crazy, man. I'll tell you, brother, it's crazy. Like, I've seen a few people say there could be no love without trust. Imagine if God said, yo, I'll never love you because I can't trust you.
That's my next point. That's my next point. So
Could you imagine if God said that?
Yeah. Imagine if you was married to somebody for 20 years and then all of a sudden one day they lost their voice or they lost their tongue and they couldn't like physically tell you they loved you every day. Women love compliments. They love to be told nice things. But what if that man that's been serenading you for 50 years all of a sudden lost his tongue and he couldn't say, I love you anymore? Like, how would you take that? Like, how would you feel? Even when you lose, and I even like you touched me with the whole parent thing, because I haven't talked to my mom in a year, but it's just those I have grown man relationships with my parents now.
Right.
So,
sure.
Imagine if your parent did die or you did lose your tongue and you can't say I love you or something like that. And
Tony,
you're like,
man,
dang, I can't even talk to that person no more because they're gone and this and that and all these things. And you feel like you can't say I love you to that person no more.
exactly.
But that person is really still there, always with you, man. That's your mom. Like, you're going to always remember your mom.
For sure. Guys, one of the things I'll tell you, and Tony, I'm so glad you're here. Please don't leave, brother. One of the things that happens is that, guys, love is a verb. Oftentimes people use it as an intangible noun, but it's a verb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
So
one of the best highs.
Yeah. If someone tells you that they love you, they're simply telling you what you already know. Because they've shown you that they love you. Love is a verb. Never, ever forget that. Somebody said, yo, you have to learn how to love yourself. Yo, for me, for Patrick, I had to learn how to accept myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up with extremely low self-esteem.
We all go through it, man. It's a growing pain, man. Listen.
Let me finish, fam, and then I'm gonna pass the mic to you.
Yes, sir.
I had to learn how to I had to learn how to accept myself. And then once I learned how to accept myself, I learned how to like myself. And then once I learned how to like myself, that's when I began to start falling in love with me. But I've never been so deeply in love with me that I didn't have enough room to actually love somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
When you talk about love being an action or a verb, saying I love you with no action
means nothing. It means nothing.
Nothing.
It means nothing.
I love you. I love you. You can say I love you all day, but if you don't do anything to line up with that I love you, it means absolutely nothing.
Baby girl, we live in a society where people will tell you everything that you want to hear, but won't give you anything that you actually need.
That part.
Everything is digital now, man. We all looking down at our
exactly.
We all looking down at our cell phones like this. We think we getting hung by the white man, but we hanging ourselves. It's like nobody's speaking to each other. I have to purposely go out of my way when I see, black men or men in public to look them in their eyes. That used to be sort of like a sign of disrespect back in the day, but it's like we got to get back to loving each other and being like, listen, bro, like I can love you as a man. We have women out there that we got to love and protect. We just got to try to understand each other. That's all.
For sure. And the thing about it, man, and I'm glad you brought that up, man, look. Guys, we got to do better. Like out here in D.C., in PG County, man, 11 people got shot this weekend, man.
Oh, wow.
And some of them were babies. Man, do you realize, man, that people are legitimately, you shouldn't ever love anything or anyone that don't love you back. When the last time y'all got a check from Mercedes Benz or, you know what I'm saying, Ace of Spades or Gucci or Prada or Louis Vuitton, you know what I'm saying, Fendi or any other branch and said, thank you for your service. Thank you for your support. We love them. We're willing to die for them.
Wow, it's funny you mentioned that.
Yo, man, we got to do a better job at, you know what I'm saying, loving people that look like us. We got to do better. Like, it's not, you know, we can say, only we can say we. Only we can do that. And it comes a point where we got to start telling the truth. We got to stop doing what's popular and we got to start doing what's real. It's
It's coming
always
to
going to
that
be
point.
yeah, I mean, some people are just genuinely antagonistic. And in the words of my brother Jay-Z, I ain't even looking at you. I'm looking past you, brother. If you see me behind you, I've lapped you. You know what I'm saying?
See, these are our philosophers. These are our stars, man. They try to drop us little gems, but we so focused on the shoot 'em up, bang, bang, and all this other stuff. It's artistry there, man.
Man,
This how
fam,
we
let me
make it
tell you
out of these
something.
places.
When I see records being made by people that don't look like us, that echo the exact same message as us, I'll call that shit art.
They always try to say the best
You know
copy,
what I'm
the
saying?
best,
I mean,
the best artists are copycats, man. And we know people been copying us for a long time.
yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Replication is the highest form of flattery, but our children are listening. Man, we got babies on the internet twerking.
Man, it's crazy, man.
Meanwhile, in India, they're teaching trigonometry in the 6th grade.
And we get mad at them when they come over here and outperform us when we being distracted. We dancing on tables and clubs and stuff like that with our children around us.
Yeah. Right. That's real. All right.
Oh, this is a great dialogue.
Man, I definitely appreciate talking to you guys tonight, man.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you too, brother.
Thank you for coming on here, brother. We appreciate it.
Tony, man. Hey, Tony, man, be safe out there, man. Stay encouraged and be blessed, brother.
Definitely, sir. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
We appreciate you always watching, Tony.
For sure.
So listen, what a great dialogue we've had tonight. Patrick, you've gotten a lot of new fans, gotten a lot of new, I'm sure, interest. They was like, hey, somebody said, I'm 30 minutes from Richmond. Where you at? Where that at? Where you at? Where can I find this brother? They are not playing out here. But this has been a great dialogue, you know, just to being able to connect on, you know, on an intellectual level and talk about, you know, what is high value to you. High value isn't about how much money you make. High value is not about how many cars you have or all the things that you can do, all the material things. It's about who you are, period. And you've shown yourself just to be a very transparent, very vulnerable, very real brother. And so I'm so glad to have you on here tonight. Where can they find you? How can they follow you?
All right, guys. So again, you can follow me on Instagram at I2Am You can also find me at The Human Movement. That's HUEMANMOVEMENT.com. You can find me there. You can also find me on Twitter at I2Am I don't know how many people still use Twitter, but I kept it. You know, I'm a bit nostalgic, and that's what it is, guys. Holla at me, and guys, listen. I promise you, if I can say this, if you reach out to me, I promise you, I will reach back. I'm not one of those people that are intangible. I'm real and I'm here.
And if you're in the DMV area, how can they come to your
all right, so if you're in the DMV area, you can come and holler at me at Babylon Woodbridge. You know, every Saturday from 1 to 5, we do a Saturday mixer. Yes, we do a Soul Train line at 4 o'clock. It's the biggest thing. People line up for it. It's crazy. But you know, we're preaching economic independence, and freedom, and just an overall good time. I believe that if we can drink together and we can dance together and we can eat together, then we should be able to live together.
Beautiful. And you guys know where to follow me. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on Fly Nubian Queen. And nobody works harder than Constance Carter. Hey, you guys, I am having the Weekend of Wealth retreat next year, June 2022. It's going to be in Costa Rica for men. I'm going. A transformational. Do you hear me? When I say transformational retreat, when you come to that, you are going to leave full and your life is going to be changed. I got this dope ass mansion. I think I want to show you guys the mansion. It's crazy. I want to. What you think of that? What you think of that mansion, that fly ass mansion I got?
Dope.
Yes.
Dope.
Go to weekend2wealth.com, weekend2wealth.com. I got payment plans, but if you want to learn how to build wealth, if y'all don't know nothing about me, if this is your first time tuning in, I'm Constance Carter. I own Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. We are the largest African-American owned real estate firm in California. I also have several investments that I do. I invest in cannabis, commercial real estate. I have a co-working space, an event center. I do all of these things. I've learned how to build wealth, and I show other people how to build wealth and practice collective economics. That's what I'm all about. You'll learn all that stuff, how to do it yourself at the Weekend of Wealth Retreat in Costa Rica. So make sure you go to weekend2wealth.com and go ahead and sign up today. Again, we got payment plans available for you. So we want to see you there, and we want to see you in paradise building your wealth. All right. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you coming on live with me. This was absolutely amazing. I know that there's some lives that are going to be changed as a result of their connection with you. So thank you again, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everyone.